Hey, you guys, today, Tuesday, I always say this every week on every recording. It honestly is my favorite day. One, because I love Zooming with you. I love collaborating with all of you. I love seeing new faces on here. I love seeing more veteran faces on here. I think the coolest thing is that we can all learn and grow from each other. And it's just super motivating. And I don't know if you guys have gone through the Transformation Tuesday posts for today. So awesome. They were so inspiring and so wonderful. So thank you for doing that. That's huge. When you can keep showing transformations, it doesn't have to be yourself. It can totally be another coach. It can be a challenger. And it doesn't have to be just physical, if that makes sense. So did anyone see a transformation that really spoke to them? I would love to hear about it. You can either post in the comments or unmute, but someone, Lisa, yeah, Lisa, that was really cool. Did you have good traction with that? Good. You should. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was actually a recycled post, but I was really proud of it and could reuse it. The younger Julianne. I think it's important to do posts like that. Did any of you guys see Sarah Scott's post yesterday on the team page? Laura's post today was amazing. I think it's just amazing when we can remember what it is that we're doing a part of this crew. Lizzie has been really, really rocking her social media lately. Emily, oh, I love that. So the more raw and real you can get, the better. The freedom of this business is to be authentic and to be you. That's going to be the only thing that separates you from anything. And I have to tell you this, I told some of you over the weekend, I'm like nervous right now. I don't know why I'm like sweating. Anyway, I'm going to take a deep breath. Like I'm just like amped because I have some really fun things I want to talk to you about today. But Trina said this, and I shared it over the weekend, but not everyone gets on those calls, is that it's easy to cancel a credit card charge, but it's hard to cancel a friendship. And when you can connect to this community, like it's so much harder to quit a community. It's harder to cancel a community. And I was just like, whoa, that's so true. Like people that I've seen not stick this out, it's probably because they didn't connect to the community. So that's just my biggest suggestion. I love that you all are on here. I love for those of you who are watching the recording. I know you can't make everything, but I think it's definitely important to set this aside and make sure that this does become a priority at some point to make some kind of Zoom or live event, if that makes sense. So what I need you to do is I need you to lock out of Facebook. If your phone is open, go ahead and close that. I know that, Morgan, you are talking with your dad. I actually don't know where you are. Oh, you're off your phone, which is totally fine. But what I want to talk to you tonight is about a game plan for inviting and a game plan to show you what I'm doing this month. So how many of you are participating in the flash sale? It is so awesome. So if you're not, I highly suggest it. A couple of tips that I have for you is post about it. Make a post about it. Even if you're a new coach, you could even just be like, hey, like I'm getting started on my journey. We have this really cool, I like calling it like a pop-up shop because we've never done this before. We probably won't do it again, maybe next year. I doubt it. It was just kind of a random thing we decided to go with. And I just think it's a really cool opportunity for people just to check out some awesome packages. Like it's a freaking steal to be in there. It's hype, it's exciting. So I did that. I've also sent out private messages. I've sent out some emails. I've posted on Instagram, and it's going until Sunday. It's going until Sunday. There are 2 coaches on here that personally joined Team Happy and Fit and me because of I don't want to say it's because of the flash sale, but it was awesome that they got to get in the flash sale. Does that make sense? Like, it was just a cool way. It's like, if you're going to join, you might as well join now. Like, this is really cool opportunity for you to be a part of. And they were like, absolutely, yes. So if you could, so the flash sale in Team Fit and Free, there's a video, but I've also posted a video on Happy and Fit with how to invite someone. And I also made a video on exactly what I'm doing for it. So if you are like out of the loop, all of those resources are in our team page. Does that make sense? So if you're like, oh, I don't think that this is going to be like a make or break thing. Like I'm just saying it would be a cool opportunity for you to jump on and be a part of. Has anyone had any cool ring the bell moments because of the holiday flash sale that you're just really excited about? Could you share a name, share what they got, and just why you're excited to help them? Sorry if you can hear music. They're having a party down there. Anyone? Anyone? Oh, you can't hear music? That's nice. Okay, well, that's okay. We don't have to share that. I specifically, Jenna and Laura are on, and I am so excited for them to be a part of this community. I was like, God, like, ladies, like, it is so awesome. Happy and Fit, it's empowering. Don't you guys believe that? Like, this community is just unlike anything else. It is so hard sometimes just to even express it to people. Like, don't you kind of feel like you're like, I don't know how, like, the right words to explain it because it's so awesome. That's how I feel about it. So just for them to be like, yeah, I trust you. Like, that's what they said. Yeah, I have to do this. I have something I have to share, but it doesn't have to do with the holiday flash sale. Well, I'd love for you to share it, Lauren. I've had a girl buy Energize thus far and has got, okay, Energize equals life. So that's awesome. Lauren, go ahead.
Okay, so Andy and I are doing a clean week that she recently invited you all to, starting the 11th. And so I reached out to a few of my closest friends, and two, which are actually like two of my best friends. They signed up, and like they have seen me like do this for over a year now. One of them I was in Costa Rica with, like, before I signed up as a coach, and I already talked to Julianne about it, and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, oh, let me get back to you after I get back from Costa Rica. Anyways, so she's like known about it forever, and I really think that's like a great way for them to like just try it out for a week, and it's only $30, so it's not like too much to ask. And anyways, I just really hope that they really like the workout and the Shakeology and everything like that. Anyways, I'm just really excited for them, and yeah.
Okay, can hear the conviction in your voice because you genuinely just want to help them because you know what this is done for you. I think we all have that fear of like putting ourselves out there. And I mean, Andy was saying like her two friends made fun of her in the beginning. One, I know that's from insecurity. Anytime anyone is negative about this, it stems from insecurity or someone on their social media ruining it. Like have you guys ever seen like on social media, it's so flipping salesy where you're like, do you even know that person that you're like showing your graphic of? You know what I mean? Like this is just so different. But I think it either stems from insecurity or it stems from them just having a bad experience. Like today, where did I get recruited from to join? I was like, oh, I'm doing this. Like, I didn't know you were doing that. And she's like, well, you should do this. And I was like, oh, like, I don't think you heard me. Like, no, I'm not interested. But it happens to me too. And that's just not my approach ever. Like my approach is lead with me. Like I'm just going to lead with my story and I'm just going to lead with what's working for me. So if you guys can just continue to do that and lean on this community, because people, again, I was talking to someone today and she's like, oh, I'm just not a good salesperson. And I was like, well, I hope you didn't join me because I was a good salesperson. I hope you originally joined me because you felt connected to my story. And she's like, oh, you're right. It was someone who's been a challenger that's considering coaching. And I was like, I think we think it just switches like from becoming a challenger to a coach or jumping into that. And it doesn't. And I just explained to her, I was like, it's just really self-care. But if you can just lead with yourself, and that's why people will want to join you, like that's flipping awesome, right? So it's so hard to not get caught up in the headspace, like caught up in that, because it can really hold us back, if that makes sense. But I'm loving the energy. I'm loving all of the support and encouragement of you guys ringing the bell, and just you understanding that. What was I reading? I was reading about rejection today and how it's inevitable. Like that's always going to happen. I got rejected to college. Like my first university I ever applied for sucked. And I felt so ashamed. I felt so sad about it. And then I got accepted to the university, Concordia University, where I met Eric. And I was like, I see why this all worked out the way that it did, right? And a lot of rejection happens. But if we can just continue to work on our mindset, work on ourselves, we'll just see the bigger picture. Okay, so for this month, we have that flash sale. I love that the Clean Week stuff. I'm assuming Lauren and Andy are even saying like if you guys would want to join in a Clean Week. get some people in there. I'm sure that they wouldn't mind getting some people. Oh, I love that you're sharing your PD, Erica. I'm reading Sell or Be Sold right now, and that is helping me change my perspective on what selling is. I love that. If you're having a hard time with the selling in general or like mindset, for me, it's not a struggle. I'm like, I just share my story. Join me or don't, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going and working on myself, but sometimes there's a hesitation there of that fear of rejection. I love that. And Daring Greatly is perfect for vulnerability if you really struggle with being vulnerable. Brene Brown lays it down, like for sure. That's a really great suggestion as well, Morgan. But for this month, what I'm doing is I'm spending the entire month inviting to my January 1st challenge group. And my January 1st challenge group is called New Year, New You, the Real Solution Boot Camp. And it's my favorite one. I think I've done 4 of them. There's no miraculous content that I can give you right now. But basically, if you are your best challenger, then it's going to rock. Like if you just show up in there and show up hard for yourself, people are going to be really encouraged. So one, you can join me on that. My biggest thing is like, I don't want you to get so caught up in like trying to organize everything. I just want you to get people in there to help. And so I'll do all the logistics. I was actually talking to Laura today and I said, listen, all you need to do is your social media aspect. I'll help you with your canned response. I'll help you like with the details. Cause I was a word vomiter, like pro at it, of like people would be like, so I'm interested. And I'd be like, bleh, like all of it. And it's amazing people joined me because I legitimately gave them way too much information. And maybe that's why a lot of people didn't join me at first. And if you've had past experience doing this before, like, you know what I mean? And maybe you are one of those people who joined me a long time ago and I was a word vomiter. But what I want to do is I want to help you guys make that transition. So this is what I need from you. If you want to join in on me with the New Year, New You, or do your own, that's totally fine. But I want to help you in the middle. Does that make sense? I want to help you share your story. I want to help you communicate with people the right way that's effective. And I just want you to get it done. So number one, for New Year, New You, you need to be sharing your story on social media, obviously. So I noticed Lisa put out her transformation today, and I'm assuming she got some traction. Something that she needs to do every time someone likes or comments on her post, and this is repetitive. I know that some of you have heard this before, so that's why I'm looking for some of the leaders to jump in and join and be like, this is what's working for me as far as putting myself out there. So you put out a social media post, and what you could do is you could be like, hey, Lisa, thanks so much for the love on my post. It just gives me confidence to keep on going. It can be scary sharing my story, but just you supporting it just makes me want to keep sharing it more. I don't know if you saw, but I have a group coming up to start the new year off with a bang, and we're going to focus on confidence, fitness, and nutrition. Let me know if you'd want more details. No pressure. Yes, send it via voice memo. And if you're not comfortable doing that yet, that's okay. But my biggest thing is you just need to do it. It might make you sweat. It might make you really nervous, but I promise you, like, it'll just get easier over time. So then when you're doing that and then they're like, yeah, I would love some more information, then that's how you'd be like, sweet, what's your email? And then if you're a new coach, I'm going to teach you how to do a canned response, just not right now. And then all you do is you go to your email, put their email in, and then click a button, and then all the information is there. It's not too much. It's not too little. Like, it's just enough. I know Kim Meyer's doing something that's similar, but a little bit different, and she can share that too. But it is just such an effective way of doing that. So that's one thing I'm doing. Another thing, expanding your network. Say you're adding your friends on Facebook. This is something that I challenge some of you to do, and this is so scary. It is so scary. I was like, I've never done this before. And then guess what my brave self did? I unmuted myself and I said, do you guys want to listen to me do it for the first time? They're like, yeah. And so then I got on my phone. So when someone accepts your friend request, actually sending them a direct voice message. And so if I go to my Facebook, I'll do a sample one for you so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And honestly, like, you guys, if you have the right intentions in general, like, if you know why you're doing this, if you truly want to make a difference, like, and help people and do all these things, like, it's coming from a sincere place, and you don't have to defend your reputation with that, if that makes sense. So when you go to your Facebook Messenger, you can see new friend added, like, it just shows up. So this is a problem. I don't have a new friend on my Messenger for a really long time here. So here's one. That's a coach. I just want to make sure this person isn't a coach, because that'd be really awkward. We're just going to click her. I just want you guys to hear what I'm doing. Okay, it is a coach. Of course it is. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it to a coach. I'll do it to Eric. So say Eric accepted my friend request, okay? So here I go. I'm really nervous, by the way, right now. I'm like sweating, even though it's my husband. This is what I want you to try this week. Here we go. Hey, Eric, I just wanted to introduce myself. I see that we are Facebook friends, and I'm so excited. My name is Julianne, and I am on this mission to empower people to brighten the newsfeed. I've just noticed that social media has become super negative. I specifically love helping women with their confidence, fitness, and nutrition. If that is ever anything that would be an interest of you, I would love to give you more information, but if not, no pressure at all. I hope you're having an awesome day. Okay, is that okay? Like, not so bad, right? You guys, I'm like sweating, like doing that. Maybe it's the fuzzy blanket. But what I was thinking, I was like, dang, like sometimes I get a lot of traction on my social media from a lot of coaches. Do you guys get the same thing? I see a lot of nods where you're like, yep, after that first month, it's like a lot of coaches that like your stuff. So maybe that's a different type of way you can do it that doesn't sound weird or creepy. To me, it's not. If I were to get that, I would just be like, either no, thank you, I would ignore it, or I would respond and say, sure. Like, that's pretty much what's going to happen. If someone were to be like, Julianne, you're the absolute worst human being I've ever met in my life, like, you suck, I'd be like, I just don't think we should be Facebook friends anymore, and I would probably delete them, right? Like, it just is kind of like the obvious. But then also, for me, like, it also shows if they do respond back, like, what if I would have never asked them? Like, what if I just would have been nervous and been so, like, it's just, yeah, endearing it. Thank you for saying that, because it really made me nervous doing it right now, even though it's just, like, sending it to Eric. But what's really cool is that it's just a quicker way, or, like, you're not waiting around for your social media to come around. So how are we feeling about this? Are we a little nervous and sweaty about it? And like, okay, Julianne, like, we'll set the goal to do this. I personally just think that it's going to be a great way. Like, if you specifically say, I'm just like wanting to brighten the newsfeed. Like, you can't really hate on that, you know, like, unless you do, then it's like, see ya. Like, I'm not sure. Kim, do you want to share out loud? Oh, wait, sorry. I had someone respond with an angry face emotion. I responded, I'm going to take that as a no. I hope you're having a great day anyway. Totally.
Yeah,
and you guys,
like,
that's,
you know how you can do like the emotional like response, like the little icon or whatever. Yeah, it was like the face, and I was like, oh, do I respond to this? Do I not respond to this? And so I was just like, I'll be nice. I'm sorry. And she's like, oh no, like, but if I would have taken it as like,
you're saying that you responded
yeah,
back and she didn't mean to do that.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
So I sent her a message, that like my empowerment message of like, I believe you should join my team because of this. And she reacted with the, you know, like how you can do the heart's eyes or like those things. She reacted with the mad face on it. And I was like, ugh, okay. So then I was like, well, I could ignore this. Or so then I just wrote, I'm going to take that as a no. I hope you have a wonderful day anyway, and have, you know, blah, blah. And then she responded back to me like 5 minutes later, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, my phone didn't do what I was supposed to.
Then you can laugh and like get to know each other better. That is so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, if people even respond negatively to you, like, be positive back anyway. Like, don't let their negativity bring you down, I guess is what I was really trying to say there.
So then this person, if they're like, so say Eric, hopefully he says sure, and especially because I said empowering women. And if he's like, yeah, I would love more information, be like, awesome. Okay, well, first, like you could either go to like, where do you find yourself struggling in your journey? Is it with fitness? Is it with nutrition? Or you can just go into like, I would love your email, and then ask that question. So then you can even say like, how's your week? Like you can start building that relationship. So the more you put it on them, the better, because one, you want to know who you're working with and if you want to work with them, but two, like it connects you. Like that's what this is about. And you can just start to build that relationship from there. So that is an idea that I have for you for this week. If you're just feeling a little bit stuck of like, I just like my social media isn't doing well, because sometimes we go through those ruts of like lower traction. Does that make sense? So if something to do this week is to expand your network, typically what I do is I just go to mutual friends or suggested friends and add about 10 a day. And I remember Trina said this. She said, if you don't add to your network, you're closing the door to your business. And I remember it was super awkward at first. I think I started this business with 300 Facebook friends because I was going through that weird phase of deleting everyone I didn't know from it. I was like, I want to know everybody on my Facebook. And then so I really had a smaller Facebook. So then now I think I've almost maxed out at 5,000 over the last 3.5 years, if that makes sense. So it's just taken time to build up. But if you think about it, if you are just like, I don't really want, my friends weren't joining me in the beginning, and neither was my family. And so it was just people I either went to school with or didn't know. And so that's predominantly how my business began and kind of still is. And now it's weird to say that because you guys are my family, but you know what I mean? And so if you're just like, I want to get away from like this group and kind of go a newer direction, that's what I would do. Do you guys have any questions as far as that? Yes. Facebook jail is not fun. But I've never, well, no, that's a lie. I have gone in Facebook jail. Just like, don't overdo it. Just do 10 friend requests. Like do that. Like, don't worry about the stuff that's going to happen in a negative way. Like, I know we're like helping each other in that, but I mean, like, it's not going to happen if you're just doing it in moderation, like spread throughout, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think Kim Meyer gets in Facebook jail like weekly. So like she's still going, like 6-star elite qual. She's doing all right for herself. But yeah, so I just encourage, does this give you more encouragement and confidence if you're feeling stuck with invites? It's like you're like, okay, Julianne, it's scary, but I trust you. Yep. Believe me, I'm like was sweating just practicing. Like it's a little bit out of my comfort zone too, because I like it when people come to me. I like it when they like or comment on my post or say, can you give me more information? That is just so wonderful. But that's not reality always, if that makes sense. So that is something new that I'm going to be doing this month as far as inviting goes. And then just having that plan for my New Year, New You group. I also made an event page for my New Year, New You and invited a lot of my friends to that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to post in there daily. I'm just going to post. So I'll show you guys a couple of things that I'm doing. So if I go to New Year, New You, this is my event page. And if you are a coach that's newer that you're going to team up with me, you can always invite them to this group, if that makes sense. So for anyone who clicks going or interested, if they're not coaches, I'm going to send them a message and say, hey, I see that you clicked going to this group. Like, I would love to help you. I'd love to give you more information. And they'll be like, yes. I'll be like, great. What's your email? And then I'll send them a canned response, if that makes sense. So you guys can steal anything that I'm doing. I also made a Google Doc specifically for Instagram, because Instagram, I think, is the worst tool to communicate with people. Like, I'm just like, give me your email and I'll take this to somewhere else. Like Facebook, it's a little bit easier in my opinion. And you guys can see exactly how I've done that. And then I made a video you guys can use for sure, explaining the New Year, New You. And basically, I'm just trying to say, like, let's not create resolutions. Let's create this real solution to your health and fitness. Like, let's not just focus on, oh crap, where did 2017 go? But really focus on the wins of each day and those types of things. So you need to know what you're inviting to. So in the comments below, what are all of you inviting to? And if you're a newer coach, if we haven't had a GSR yet, it would just be the New Year, New You. That's happening January 1st. I will get you prepped, set up. All you have to do, and this is based on your wants to do it, is just doing the invite part, which is not a scary thing. And I'll give you all the information on what you share with them. So Rock Solid Moms group, the Real Solutions, Not Resolutions, Clean Week, love it. And then make sure you have a funnel group after that, Andrea, of like what your next one is after that, because the start date on Clean Week, you should be inviting to your next challenge. Don't wait for Clean Week to be done. Like do it right before a 3-day refresh. Oh, I love that. So you need to, wait, don't be the moldy cheese, break the mold. Sarah, that is so fun. Like, I'm like, what is that? Like, I want to be a part of that. That is so awesome. You can definitely team up with some other coaches as well. So you need to know what you're inviting to, if that makes sense. Does anyone have any suggestions on what's working for them as far as inviting to groups right now that you could really break it down, maybe even give an example, model it for the coaches on this call? I don't think that I'm the one that should always be doing that, because I also want to learn from all of you. So specifically, Erica, I saw you tagging a lot of people, so I just want to hear what you're saying. Kim, I would love to hear from you. Amanda, I've seen you, sister. Ashley, right? Morgan, I would love to see. Jill, I've seen you. I see what's going on. There's like 2 of you down there, so you look like you have a twin. Because you're like going. Jess, anything that is super duper working for you right now as far as inviting goes? I see you're unmuted, Jill, but I don't know if I can hear you. Anyone want to go?
Okay, I'll share a little bit. This isn't like really getting into my whole process, but something that I did a little bit different this time around, in addition to having canned responses and just sending out that initial, I have this group going on, are you interested, is that I made a graphic, I think it was in maybe Team Fit and Free, that shows the options easily for how people can join my group. So for mine, I have option 1 is that they can get the 7-day Shakeology sampler, or a month of Shakeology, or the All Access Challenge Pack. So I think that's been helping me a little bit to get more interest. I realize a lot of my people are busy moms who can't always take the time to listen to a video and spend that time. So having a graphic has been helping me to easily show people the value of what they would be getting if they joined, and not word vomiting those different options.
Not word vomiting.
In the team page if you want.
That would be so helpful. Sarah, I didn't even see that you were on. Do you have anything to share too, Sarah Freed?
I do all those exact same things. I just added the Instagram stories, like see who's watching you, and message those people.
So what are you saying to them when you're messaging them?
Usually something to the effect, and that's hard because you can't voice message on Instagram. But I'll say something like, it kind of depends on the person, but I'll either say, hey, like, I just want to thank you for watching, checking out my day and seeing what I'm all about. Like, I hope I make you laugh here and there, like just something like really light like that. And just say, how, like, sorry, he's so distracting.
Hey, Cam.
It's okay. I like, if there's any distraction, like my mind just goes and I can't talk. Anyways, and then like I'll ask a question, and I usually will go and look at their page beforehand because I want to have like something that connects us. So like I'll go to their page and I'm going to look like, do they have kids? Do they not have kids? Because I want to ask them a question based off of something I've seen. So it shows like, I know who you are, at least like a little bit of who you are, versus just being like random, I guess, if that makes sense. And then I've had some people that I've just flat out said like, hey, like, I know that you've been watching me for a while. Like I've thought of you for, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Like sometimes I'm that bold depending on who it is.
So what do your Instagram stories look like then for the coach who's on this call that's like, okay, great, I can send them a message, but what is your day looking like on your Instagram stories?
I feel like it's been a struggle lately just because my routine is a little out of whack with me getting injured and I'm starting to get back into it. So basically to fight that, to counteract that, I've just been talking about it for one and just being like, my day is so unpredictable and like, I'm little by little I'm getting back. But typically it's people seeing me go through the vital behaviors. So they're going to see me get up and drink my Energize, but it's not like I'm going to say this is Energize. Like they would have to ask to know what it is. And then they would see me go through my workout, and you'll get better at it over time. Like you'll learn how to put music to it, and you'll learn how to put different wording over things. Like that's not the most important thing. Like the most important thing is you just put something out there. You can make it look pretty later when you get a lot more comfortable, but people are going to see me go through my workout. People are going to see me drink my shake. I'm not going to say this is Shakeology. Again, like it's more that curiosity marketing. People are going to see me reading my PD or me posting my podcast that I was listening to. People are going to see me talk about my kids, what I'm doing that day, anything funny that my kids are doing, the different activities that my kids are doing. Like if you have kids, like play
or
them
dog,
up,
or dog.
Yeah, or dog. Like Julian, you do that so well. Like I have a dog too, but I don't feature him nearly as much.
You have kids.
Yeah, like play up what's like really big and important in your life, and like dog mom is a huge thing, or mom to 2 kids is a huge thing, mom to 4 kids is a huge thing, whatever you have going on.
So who works their business an hour or less a day because you are a full-time worker? Raise your hand, comment below. Exactly. So here's the deal. What you want to do, and I'm assuming since you're on this call, you're wanting to move your business forward. Like you're wanting to do something because you understand, I really think this is the golden ticket, but I don't think it's necessarily the reason to quit your job. I don't think that at all. I think that this gives you the option, or it helps you minimize certain stresses in your life, or it elevates things in your life that you want to do more of. Maybe it's more family vacations. Maybe it's spending time with more people, right? Like, I don't think that this is just to like go all in and just quit. Like, I don't think that this is it, but I'm also realistic in understanding that a lot of you, just as much as myself, did this working full time. So you have minimal time to do Instagram stories, like takes minimal time. I just don't want you to be on your phone all the time. Like that's what I do not want in this business. I want you to be present with the people that you love. So this is what you're going to need to do if you're working this business an hour or less a day, is you guys need to scrub the toilets and you need to do the dirty work. And the dirty work in this business is the hard stuff, the smelly stuff, the stuff that literally is like not fun and sexy and fluffy. Like it's not, like pretty graphics or being in the team page all day, or even being on these amazing Zooms, which are literally my favorite thing, and being so filled up. Like that stuff is so great. But the thing that's going to move the needle in your business is scrubbing the toilets. And scrubbing the toilets is putting yourself out there, sharing you though, right? But then also reaching out to people. That is the stuff that most people avoid or put minimized on their hour or less a day stuff. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to scrub the toilets first and then all the other stuff. Does that make sense? Is this like clicking for you where you're like, I don't want to. You guys saw I got sweaty, right? Like I still feel that way too, but I have such a deep conviction and passion for what we're doing. I legitimately believe that this changes lives. I've seen it because of what it's done for me and the people that I've helped. I have way too much conviction for what I'm doing, and I have so much fun. Big goals should be scary. They should be scary, and they should be scary, right? No, but they should be fun, and they should be exciting. But if you are trying to move the needle in your business, it's hitting enter when you're shaking. It's being vulnerable when you don't want to, and when someone is critical, showing up the next day, and just being able to move that needle. And I'm just here for you in that. And that's why I think that we do need to spend this time really talking about inviting, because that is what moves the needle in your business. That is the thing that is so hard for most coaches. That is the thing that most coaches avoid. So if you are working this business an hour or less, even if you are working it more, because you know what, actually, I'm going to get real raw here. I saw comments in the team page. It wasn't harmful. It wasn't mean. There's no negativity and happy and fit, but I saw it and I saw the undertone of it, not in a negative way, but I was like, that person doesn't believe they can do it. So we were talking about, we're going for 2-time elite. It's so scary. And people are commenting and shouting out people. And someone wrote there, like, in my own time. And then when they wrote that, I was like, they don't want to be pushed. I don't think that they're being pushed in a bad way. I think that they're being pushed in someone's trying to elevate their confidence way. And this person was still like, don't push me. Like, I'm not trying to be mean when I say that, but I could tell, meaning like, they're not going to do it. Like, they're not going to move the needle. Even when someone's helping, encouraging them, they don't believe it. If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. Are you understanding where I'm coming from? Like, if you really say you want this, and then people are saying, hey, you can do this in this amount of time, because it's not an impossible goal. And then they're saying in its own time, I'm like, a lot of times this is what we do. We put a goal out there that's like 3 months away that could happen tomorrow, just because we're nervous and afraid of missing it. Did you guys listen to that quote of the day show where it's not fear is necessarily the reason for not goals, but it's how big dreams are? And I saw that post and comment, and it crushed me, because I was just like, the people in your life that really want to elevate you and encourage you as this team are going to push you. And not maybe a little uncomfortable, honestly, but I don't think that they're pushing you because they want to see you fail. I think they're pushing you because they have an unshakable belief in you. And sometimes you need a freaking unshakable belief, and someone else is doing that for you because you're trembling yourself. And when I saw that person push back to the people who had unshakable belief in them, I was like, it's not going to happen for that person, until they realize why the motivation behind these people are like, no, you don't understand. You could do this if you decided to. I think this business starts with belief in yourself, and sometimes that doesn't happen right away. That's why this team matters. They are the ones that believe in you when you don't believe in you. Have you guys ever been at a point in your life where you just have no faith? Like, you are just like, I can't do it. And then someone comes out of nowhere and just says, hey, I'm thinking about you today. How are you? I believe in you, and all this stuff. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, I can do it. Do you know how often that happens to me? Nikki Touch sent me a text message, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and said, hey, I'm going to start crying thinking about it. She just reached out to me out of nowhere and sent me a text and said, I believe in you so much. And I was like, she had no idea the kind of day I was having, the kind of doubt that was creeping up in my head. Kim Meyer the other day said this. She said, it wouldn't be right to hit elite as a team without you. And I was like, gotta hit this. Like, gotta do it, because I have to elevate myself. I cannot continue to walk amongst this complacency and not elevate myself. Does that mean I'm going to hit every single goal that I set? No. Are you going to hit every goal that you set? No. But if you need to like lean into this community, because I talk myself out to a lot of stuff. There's another leader on Team Rockstar Fit going for a really big goal. I messaged her. I said, are you still going for this? She said, I don't know. And I said, yeah, you are. I said, yes, you are. You are going to go for this. And guess what she's doing? She's a freaking warrior is what she is. She's going for it. It takes a village. Someone said, man, your challenge groups are so full of energy. And that was my response. It takes a village. It takes a village to make things happen. And I just need to tell you guys, like, you cannot post a vulnerable post just in fear of other people, because there's going to be so many more people in your corner backing you up. You get to help someone. And did you guys see Sarah Scott's post in the team page yesterday? I know I said that, but like, that brought me to tears. The fact that she could come to this team, come to this community, and then she also posted it publicly. I was like, she's going to change a life and maybe save one today. Someone who's struggling with the same battles. The fact that she would put herself out there. I think of Mariah. If Sarah would not have reached out to her, Mariah says this, she doesn't think she would be here anymore. That is how real it is of what we're doing. And that is why I scrub the freaking toilets. That is why I'm okay with getting rejected by people. That's okay with getting judgment from people. Do you know how many coaches have said they've unfollowed me before they joined me? a lot, like more than I can count on one hand. They're like, I deleted you, and then I was wondering the next day what you were up to. And then they decided to join this community. True story. I think Erica was one of them. Erica, no, you didn't unfriend me, but you were like, man, Julianne posts too much, right? Like, it's so true. And it's like crazy how, and how people come into your life and how they join you. But it's all because I was willing to scrub the toilets. But I couldn't scrub the toilets alone. So if you're feeling nervous, you're feeling scared, I'm telling you, it's the way to do it. Sometimes we wait around for someone to hold our hand. Sometimes we're waiting around for the perfect opportunity. It's not going to happen. I have to read this for you guys. I was reading in The Obstacle is the Way. Live in the present moment. And do yourself a favor and run down the list of businesses started during depressions or economic crisis. And they were talking about all the businesses that survived really hard things. And they said, for the most part, these businesses had little awareness that they were in some historically significant depression. Why? Because the founders were too busy existing in the present, actually dealing with the situation at hand. So many coaches are so distracted by the future or so distracted by the past that they forget to just do the things right now. We wonder why we don't have the energy to actually deal with our problems. Or we get ourselves so worked up and intimidated because we are overthinking that if we just gotten to work, we'd probably be done already. I always say that. If you're thinking, you're wasting time. If you're thinking about who to message, it's already over. Like, you just got to do it. The point is that most people start from disadvantage, often with no idea they are doing so, and do just fine. It's not unfair. It's universal. Those who survive it because they took things day by day. That's the real secret. Focus on the moment, not the monsters that may or may not be up ahead. So if your fear is to post and you're like, I'm going to get judgment and rejection, that's living in the future. You don't know if that's true. Oh, I want to ask this person to be on my dream team, but they're going to reject me. You don't know that. You're living in the future, and that's a monster maybe in the future. Does that make sense? Like, you just got to do it. What matters is what matters is that right now is right now. You can take the trouble you're dealing with and use it as an opportunity to focus on the present moment, to ignore the totality of your situation and learn to be content with what happens as it happens. One thing is certain, it's not simply a matter of saying, oh, I'll live in the present. You have to work at it. Catch your mind when it wanders. Don't let it get away from you. That was happening to me yesterday, and I was like, nope, 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 like literally like that. And I was like, let's go. And like, if I keep saying let's go to you, that's probably because there's something in my head right now. Disregard distracting thoughts. Leave things well enough alone, no matter how much you feel like doing otherwise. But it's easier when the choice to limit your scope feels like editing rather than acting. Remember that this moment is not your life. It's just a moment in your life. So when you're feeling embarrassed, feeling nervous, it's just a moment in your life. It's not your life. Focus on what is in front of you right now. Ignore what it represents or it means or why it happened to you. There is plenty else going on right here to care about than what's going to possibly happen. So, how cool was that? I was like, yes! Because sometimes I can look at these goals of like, okay, I want 5 people in my challenge group. Nope, it's not going to happen. Instead of actually just doing the work, right? Or we're not going to be 2-time elite. Like, we're 9 coaches away from hitting elite. And I'm like, no, like, take control of what's right now and just scrub the effing toilets. I get fired up and I'll say effing. But it all starts with just doing and acting. So my biggest tip to you is authentically share your story. So when you're in your workout, how are you feeling? Did you want to die? Did you love every second? Did you have to take breaks? Were you frustrated you had to modify? Has it changed your life? Does it de-stress you? What did you do at this point last year? Were you waiting for the new year? What's different this time? when was the last time you worked out for, I don't know, 14 times in a month? Has it been 3 years and now you've been consistent with that? Like, there are so many wins simply by just joining this community. Like, you're happier and healthier, you're plugged in, right? Those are victories, my friends. And you need to share them raw, real, you. And that's what's going to connect you to the person who needs you. So maybe those struggles are, you hate going to, I've shared this before, going and trying on clothes at the store. It's the worst, right? The lighting. Like, you just, like, really, I thought, like, this size has to be wrong, right? Like, it just, you feel so defeated. You should talk about that. You should talk about that. And you're going to connect with those people, because are you starting to see a shift in your mentality, a shift in your confidence, a shift? Maybe you're not there yet, but don't you feel some hope? Simply just being a part of this, like, where you're like, it's going to be okay, or I'm going to get there. Like, maybe I'm not at my goal weight yet, but like, I will be. And I'm not even focused on that anymore. I just talk to myself a little bit better lately. Or I'm just noticing I'm getting more excited to talk to people. How many introverts do we have on this team? I'm an outgoing introvert. Yeah, and you're on this freaking call and it's recorded. Like, you're doing it. Like, that's a win. How many people follow you are introverts? Did you know that Morgan Schaefer said she wasn't going to join me? Morgan, do you remember this? I was like, what's holding you back? And she's like, I don't want to lead one of those Zooms you do. And I was like, whoa. I was like, no, you wouldn't be doing that. She's like, oh, okay, I'll sign up later. She like signed up that day. And I was like, okay. Like, you guys, I simply just asked the question of like, what's holding you back? What is it? And that was it. And I was like, okay. And she's doing it. She's introverted and she's rocking it out. Isn't that pretty fascinating and phenomenal? Maybe you're part of this community for a bigger reason than just workouts and nutrition, right? Maybe it's truly changed every aspect of your social life and your confidence. Maybe it's influenced and helped your relationships in life. I hope so. And I just think when you can connect to that, because I feel the connection from you all by your nonverbals on this call and your text messages and your messages and just the energy that you get and you bring and the coaches that you welcome. And I'm like, man, go take that out to the people you can't wait to join you. And it's crazy because I think like, I always just think at night, I always think about this. I'm like, this can't end with me. Like, someone misses out if I don't show up. That's how I feel. Like, I really feel that way because this has changed my life way too much that I'm like, this is going to do something for someone. And it has, because I look at all of you. And I've shared that so many times. So I used to ignore them when they said no, and now I'm getting to them tell me objections. Yeah, I'd be like, when someone says no, I'd be like, yeah, like, why? Is it price? Like, are you nervous about social media? That's what I always say if someone's not yet, or, you know, and I'll even say, like, tell me to stop messaging you. I think I said that to Jenna. I was like, Jenna, like, if you want me to stop messaging you, I totally can. But, like, you're just on my heart. And she's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm just bad with Messenger. Like, no, I want to hear it out. I was like, oh, okay. Like, but I was willing to do that and put myself out there when it was scary. Any last concluding thoughts? Do you feel fired up to scrub the freaking toilets? Yeah, let's scrub the toilets. And just get it done. And maybe you don't know where to start. I think where you need to start is just getting your thoughts down and then making a post and then really creating a list of people that you would love to do this with. And then sending them a message. Anyone wants to mention anything?
I just want to say something really quick about Instagram stories because I didn't even know what they were 2 weeks ago when I've been starting to do them. But I've been putting at least one poll in a 24-hour span on my story, and then that's such an easy conversation starter because if they're or if you're do you have a dog? And if they say yes, then you can message them and be like, oh, what kind of dog do you have? Or it's just such an easy conversation starter no matter what you talk about. And then that's messages that I've been going, and I haven't turned them into Beachbody conversations yet, but like those are all a list of people that I can message in the future.
Yeah, and you don't have to. Like, I think at the end of the day, you want to work with people you like. And so, like, getting to know them is not a bad thing. Like, that's, like, really great. It's like testing out a friendship. And then, Andy, you can simply just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and be like, hey, it's been so fun chatting with you. I don't know if you saw, but I have a group coming up focused on fitness, nutrition, and confidence starting in the new year. Let me know if you want more information. No pressure. Like, no pressure at all. And I feel like when you put that out there like that, they're like, okay, good. And be like, honestly, like, it's totally up to you. I just had to ask because you've been on my heart. And that's just such a clear way of getting there and not sounding weird, because I think, like, it's so hard to convey how much you feel about this. Like, you're not just asking, because most people, they're pushing a freaking product in box on you. You're like, whoa, back off. Stop putting me in all these freaking groups. Like, I don't even know what all these groups are, right? Where you're literally like, dude, I'm showing you a lifestyle. Like, you gotta be a part of this. And so I think we come from that hesitation stage of like, oh, we don't want to be like those other people. Like, you're not. One, when you're doing a voice message probably, but two, like when you're genuinely just saying like, this has changed my life too much. Like, I have to share it with you. And that's how I feel, for sure. So, okay, this week, I really, 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 really encourage you to, one, expand your network and just send out messages and see how they go. And if they don't, if no one is responding to you, like then there might be something to tweak, or maybe that's just not working. But I'm specifically speaking to you if you're feeling stuck with social media. I think that that's going to be a really great way of just like asking the freaking question, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, wait. Sorry, I was like looking at this. Yep, it's under your stickers for Instagram and Google. Google's really great at sharing with you on how to do that. So I promise you'll be able to find it there too. Okay, I'm gonna hit